Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm Reverno Shorty, and yes, no new comic book day video yesterday. Delivery arrived at like gone 3 o'clock, so I barely got time to get everything done. But I did have time for a little review. This is Dwellings by Jay Stevens, published by Onion Press, a small company that I still quite like. They were the first people who put out like Jay and Silent Bob comic books, and they did Blink, which is a really, really good-looking horror comic book. This is horror as well, but it's horror with a very cartoony kind of slant. The artwork reminds me of Richie Rich and stuff like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Now, that is the thing that kind of I brushed off it because of that. Now, this happened before, but it's led me to the conclusion, unmistakable as it is, that this is a personal taste thing for me. Because there was I think Stray Dogs or Straw Dogs, I'd say Stray Dogs, from I think Image Comics, where it was a Disney-esque, Disney-fied dog story with an awful lot of horrific trauma going on. And I kind of bounced off that idea. I thought the art style and the trauma didn't quite match, and it kept meaning I was second guessing what was happening and wasn't really engaging with it, I think, in the way that mattered. And I had a similar thing with this, because this art style as well is not something that really grabs me. But it reminded me that I have enjoyed something that's done something similar before, which is Spencer and Locke. Which is Calvin and Hobbes, but Calvin is a child who had an imaginary friend because he was abused and neglected as a child, grew up to be a cop, kept his imaginary friend with him as his partner for the entire time, and it goes to some really dark, unpleasant, harrowing places, and I love that one. So all I've got to say is, it's a matter of artistic taste for me. I prefer Calvin and Hobbes. It's something I was a fan of when I was a young man, and I've grown up still loving it. I'm genuinely always hoping that there'll be more of it. Richie Rich, no. Casper and the Ghost, no. Even 101 Dalmatians, not so much. So the art for me isn't necessarily bad art, it's just not what I was wanting, and it jarred. But this is good art. It commits to it in ways that are very, very entertaining. That crow thing on there, that is a very, if you look at it like that, that's a proper Disney or, well, cartoony kind of crow. Looks exactly like you expect it to do, but it's eating eyeballs. And that's not the only thing it does. There are a murder of them. And they literally devour the flesh of lots of things, including a little pet dog that gets poisoned. It is a very, very dark comic book. It's split into 2 parts, and each one is as horrific as the other one. It is not just trauma and shocking things, it is supernatural horror. And it isn't what I thought it was going to be when you see this kind of anthology-esque storytelling with horror. No morality tales. This feels more like a weird supernatural procedural. There is a connecting tissue of a cop investigating what's happening. Each horror story is its own separate entity, but is investigated by these people, these police officers, and we are finding out as the story goes on more about these people and what's going on and how the world works around them. It's way more than I thought it was going to be, and I think because of expectations on the artwork, I was lowering my expectations quite a lot, shall we say. I wasn't going into this thinking, this is going to be gruesome, horrific, thrilling horror. I thought this is going to be some kind of wacky silliness played for laughs, with really silly ghost effects. I mean, effects, obviously, it's a drawing, but you know what I mean. But no, there's kind of intense storytelling on what's happening here. This is a story of revenge and violence and possession and child sacrifice and demonic cults, and none of it is played for laughs. That's the important thing. Yes, you might read this and you might bounce off the artwork as well, and that's totally fine. I don't think everyone should go into this one with the expectation that they're going to absolutely adore it or they're going to hate it because of the artwork, but you could, like me, just not agree with it as much. But in terms of horror storytelling, this is fantastic. There is characterization going on here, there is relationship building, there is signs of progression of these characters and these relationships over quite small, compact stories. You care about these people. You care about the horrific things that they're either doing or having done to them. You see this descent into madness and worry what other people on the outside are thinking of them, but also knowing that it's not madness, knowing that in this world these things exist and they are terrifying and they are coming to get you, and you're scared for these people on multiple levels. The fact that they're kind of cartoony doesn't take that away from it in a grand storytelling sense, and I would recommend it. I'd say hunt it out. I think it's already gone to 3rd printing because a lot of people seem to have grabbed onto it, and I'm not at all surprised. Yeah, it's not going to make it onto my pull list. I think I might read issue 2 and carry on enjoying it, but it's not the best thing I've read. But, it's better than I thought it was going to be. By a long shot. And again, take that with a grain of salt. Like, my expectations were pretty low, but that's what I'm going to say. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think you should give it a shot too. That's it for now. I'm hopefully going to be a bit more of a routine for my reviews, but if you do want to carry on watching me talk about comic books for 5 minutes at a time, make sure to like and subscribe thing, and follow me on loads of social media. It's always Ka-Pow Comics UK. Until I see you again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye!